MAH00014.
Hi, I'm Ava Perfada. I'm here today to talk to you about love addiction. Lots of people want to know, what is it? What is love addiction and how does it affect our lives? Love addiction is a state of mind in which we are placing a higher value on the object of our affection, our boyfriend, our spouse, etc., than our own self, than our own well-being, our own health, also our families, our jobs, and our values. In active love addiction, we often will breach our own values and do things that we would not normally do because the object of our affection is so important to us. In active love addiction, our mood, which is normally in this area, will change drastically. We may have huge mood swings up in this area. We may have huge mood swings down into this area. And the reason for that is a chemical that we call phenylethylamine. And I'm going to call it PEA for short, or phenylethylamine. And for the chemist in the office, you can see that amine is an amphetamine. It's a naturally occurring chemical. It occurs in our brain. It floods the brain when we see the object of our affection. And being an amphetamine, it also stimulates the sympathetic nervous system. When the sympathetic nervous system is stimulated, the effects of this drug, PEA, or phenylethylamine, and also we're pouring out adrenaline from our body into our brain, it really gives us a lot of energy, so we can have an extremely high mood that feels like we're on top of the world. But when we lose sight of, or we believe that person is about to leave us, or they have lost interest in the relationship, it sends us into a really low mood. And it's very uncomfortable. When people are in this low mood, oftentimes they become depressed and suicidal, very anxious, have difficulty sleeping, they have anxiety and nausea. Some people even have chills and fever and body aches because of the reaction in the body to the loss of this. Another thing that happens, in addition to the PEA flooding the brain and lots of adrenaline, I'll put that on here. Another word for adrenaline is epinephrine, another naturally occurring chemical in the brain, and adrenaline. These two are the same thing, just called by different names. So in addition to that, what happens is inside the brain, in what we call the limbic system, where our experience of reward is, and where we do learning, another phenomenon happens, and that is that dopamine, which is a good chemical, it's not necessarily a bad chemical, dopamine gets sprayed out into the brain as well. And dopamine gives us lots of energy. It also gives us a lot of drive to do things. So people who are in active love addiction have all this chemistry going on in their body, and more importantly in the brain, especially in the limbic system. When that happens, we are extremely motivated to go and get that person, to go drive by their house, to go do things for them, to dress up, to look like we're appealing to that person, and we will choose those behaviors over any other of our normal behaviors. People stop going to work, people stop eating, people stop exercising, taking care of themselves, they stop cleaning their house when they get into this mood. And their focus is primarily on the object of our affection. And it's really not the person that we're addicted to. What we're addicted to is this feeling that we get from being in love, or it's what we call in the brain the pair bonding section or region of the brain, as identified by Helen Fisher. So I hope today has been helpful for you to learn a little bit more about what love addiction is and what it does inside of our body and our brain.